The one thing that I skipped over is the financially motivated cyber criminal. And what we're seeing with regards to them, these are the kinds of attacks that you read in the news, where it could be a massive credit card a data breach. It could be an account credential theft. These are the kinds of attacks that are seen day in and day out by enterprises. That's not to belittle nation-state attacks and the custom malware associated with them. They are very serious in nature. They're just not seen as much, right? And what we're seeing with financially motivated attackers is that they are taking some of the tools and tactics and copying them from nation-state attackers. And we're seeing that in not just necessarily malware sophistication, but the nature of the way they carry out attacks. They're much more coordinated. They use automated toolkits in some cases that no longer need a command line interface. They are driven by, anybody can basically pick up an automated attack toolkit and with little knowledge carry out an attack with the click of a mouse now. Evasion tactics. We're seeing malware now begin to have built-in evasion capabilities to avoid being detected by security solutions. In terms of vulnerability growth, it's another area that I think is very important to talk about. And most of the attacks that we're seeing out there, of them, 99% are targeting known flaws. These are vulnerabilities that have been long patched, but it's very difficult and it's very challenging to have a patching process in which that you execute systematically across the organization. The majority of the exploits out there are from automated attack kits, and they are automated. And again, time and time again, we're seeing Adobe and Microsoft come be the two kinds of software that are consistently targeted by attackers. Microsoft, it's not necessarily the operating system, and it is Microsoft Office documents and other Office files that are delivered through malicious email. The same with Adobe. We're talking about PDFs and PDF files, and these solutions need to be patched. Adobe Acrobat, Adobe Reader need to be patched. When patches do come out, because attackers target them. But these kinds of files are being delivered through email. And I think some of the survey data is going to show you what I'm talking about. So messaging risks, ransomware is one of the biggest things that we're seeing out there, especially as we enter 2017. If you look back at 2016, ransomware was really the only threat that rose significantly, and that's according to the FBI. It's been following this very closely. 91% of ransomware attacks are delivered through messaging. Pretty significant number there. 89% of attacks delivered through email is organized crime. And most of the attacks are, and this was kind of a surprising statistic to me, 63% are file attachments. I thought the majority of attacks through email were malicious links. But when in fact most of the malware out there, especially the ransomware, is delivered through a file attachment, and that could be a malicious Microsoft Office document or a PDF document masquerading as a business document. And this is how organizations get pretty caught up because the human factor is extremely difficult to address.